Hi everyone, this is Sil, and today we will see how to use the Zoe VR app, specifically how to use its Poly library, so its online library of objects made in Google Blocks or in Tilbrush. So as you can see here, I already put some objects in my scene, and these were imported from the Poly library already. And now I will just add some more. So to do that, you can just go to the main menu here and go into Assets. Okay. And now you can see some objects here. This is from my local library. So all these elements, you can actually use them even without an internet connection. But what interests us now is the Poly library. And all these objects are actually 3D models available online, so you will need an internet connection to access them. Okay, so I already prepared some objects that I want, that I made in Google Blocks and Tilbrush. So here, using this keyboard, I will just type tomato. Okay. And you can see a selection of tomatoes in Poly. And actually, the one I made is here. So this one was made in Google Blocks. I will just put some of them here. Right. And also I want a candle on my table. So I will make a new search for candle. All right, and the first one is actually my candle, and this was made in Tilbrush, this one. And I also will need a flame, so I will just search for flame. This is my flame, and I just add it here. Now I can close this library, and as you can see on my right controller, I have a few options here. These bubble-shaped items, and by default it's on move, so it means that I can actually grab an element in edit mode and move it wherever I want. I can also, while I'm moving them, while I'm moving an element, I can also resize it using the joystick. So let's make some smaller tomatoes here. Okay. And another cool option to place your objects is the projection mode. So if you select projection here, you can actually take an object, and instead of moving it in the air, you will actually project it on any surface. So as you can see, it will follow any surface that you have in your scene. And of course, you can also resize the elements and also rotate it using the joystick. So here's my candle. I will use the move option to put the flame here. All right, cool. So that's it for the placement of the objects. So as you can see, it's very simple to navigate. And by the way, I'm moving the camera with the grip buttons in edit mode. So when I enter play mode now, by just selecting this big button here, this is my actual experience, the game or the experience that I've made, and it's meant for the user to be in this mode, to try the game. But the problem is that right now nothing happens. So actually you see that my flame is lit, so that's good. It's using actually the brush called Comet in Tilt Brush, because in Tilt Brush you can use some really interesting brushes that already has some pre-made animations in them. But other than that, nothing happens. So let's remedy that by putting some behaviors on these tomatoes, so and these other objects. So by selecting the object settings bubble here, I can select whichever object I want, and there is a panel appearing here on my left controller. So let's say that I add gravity to all my tomatoes here. Okay. Well, I can test that right away. So if I hit play, what happens? Okay. You see that? Let's do that again. My tomatoes fell right through the through the table, through the plate, through the table, and through the ground. So how to change that? In the object settings, you saw that an option is called colliders. And if you activate that, it means that the actual collision system of these objects will be activated. So that's what we want. Let's activate that for each object. Let's try that again. And now at least they fell through the table, yes, but at least they were stopped by the floor itself. But we want them to stay on the plate. So for that, I will also modify the settings of the plate itself and add the colliders on this. Okay, that's good. So what I also want is to be able to grab as a user all these elements. So I will go back to the object settings here and add grab on every of these elements. So all the tomatoes, also the plate, I want to be able to grab it. I want also to add gravity to the plate. So basically everything, I want to activate everything here on these elements and also on the fork and on the knife. And also on this glass here. Okay. Oh, and I will do one last thing is to activate the colliders on this table to avoid that my objects will fall right through the table. I don't want that. So let's try that. Okay. So as you can see now, if I'm in play mode and if I use my controllers to grab the elements, it works. I can grab everything, can interact with them. I can try to play with these objects. It's very cool to use the physics in Zoe. And you can experiment with that and using any object that you made or that you found in Poly. As you can see, if I have a tomato here on my plate and I take the plate, it's staying on the plate. You can also grab the tomato. Okay, so very cool. If I go back to the edit mode now, everything will go back in place as of the beginning of the experience. Thank you. I hope it was useful. See you next time.